Good afternoon, everyone. It's always great for me to come back to, especially this space. I have a lot of fond memories of this space, including when I was interviewing to be a president of Millersville. Actually, we had our dinner on this stage. So whenever I come here, I remember that. But thank you very much for inviting me and for your gracious introduction. It is a privilege for me to speak to you and help close the Lancaster County Climate Summit. Millersville is proud to stand with you all, as the concerned people and businesses of Lancaster County, to advance climate awareness and to take action locally. A special thank you to the generous business and nonprofit organizations that sponsored this event and continue to lead the way on this important public policy issue, particularly Eric Sauder here with us, as well as his team at Regional. Thanks as well to the 7 organizations that have opened their facilities to support this dialogue across the city. The vast array of participants and supporters is a powerful testament to the importance of creating a shared vision for protecting our climate and environment in Lancaster County and central Pennsylvania. It is only through collective and continuous action that we can realize our goals of advancing sustainable development and nurturing a thriving community. On a personal note, I genuinely appreciate the invitation from Reverend Dave Bushnell and Mike Landis of the Planning Committee to serve as the closing speaker this afternoon, and join the impressive lineup who have delivered strong messages. As president of Millersville University and a lifelong educator, I am particularly glad to share my thoughts with you about the role of higher education in our region's future. As Lancaster's public university, serving almost 7,000 students, Millersville University is proud to host this event. Our core values of exploration, professionalism, public mission, integrity, inclusion, and compassion collectively guide our decision-making and operations. Our epic values are more than words. They are lived experiences of our Millersville family, faculty, staff, students, and alumni. In countless ways, we are a community living the epic values every day. Events such as this, which focus on the future of our region, are well aligned with our core values of exploration and public mission. Exploration allows us to create a dynamic learning environment that fosters intellectual curiosity, innovation, forward-thinking ideas, and exciting discoveries. In our classrooms and laboratories, we are pushing the boundaries of discovery and nurturing the next generation of explorers. The summit today, where ideas are being discussed and solutions are being generated, is a prime example of our role in supporting regional development. Our public mission calls us to respond to the urgent and emerging needs of our growing regional, urban, and metropolitan communities. Further, it calls us to ensure our students are well prepared for meaningful participation in broader society. Among the participants today are several Millersville faculty, staff, and students, and I appreciate their contributions. You've already heard from Dr. Nadine Garner, a faculty member in psychology and chair of the campus sustainability committee, about some specific projects in which she and her colleagues are engaged. Yesterday, Dr. Kathy Schreiber and her geography students organized an informational campaign on campus to highlight proper cycling methods on campus. Earlier today, Dr. Justin Mando and a group of students participated in the Conestoga Cleanup Initiative. And as we sit in this room, Dr. Kevorkian is here with her students from one of her classes. These are examples that showcase the power of what is possible when passionate people work together. While the World Center is a relatively new feature of the Millersville legacy, our history, which dates back to the mid-1800s, is wholly intertwined with growth and development of Lancaster County. About 168 years ago, our founders recognized an emerging societal need and came together to design an innovative solution that began a revolution in public education in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and beyond. They were explorers who served a greater public good. Today, we are the modern-day explorers serving a new public good, namely a sustainable future buttressed by intelligent and forward-thinking climate solutions. Coincidentally, the World Center brought the university back to the very block in Lancaster City where the first teachers' training sessions were held. As I wrote in a recent article for the Chamber's 150th anniversary, since 1855, when the inaugural class session took place, Millersville has been committed to the education, economic growth, and welfare of local citizens. The university has grown and evolved alongside Lancaster County while adjusting to meet the changing needs of the population. Through peacetime and wartime, economic strife and financial resurgence, the university and the business community have weathered the storms and faced the challenges together. The modern Millersville University was created in the mid-1980s by the state legislature of Act 188, which also established the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. Today, our strong roots in teacher preparation remain and have been augmented by a holistic liberal arts focus with professional programs in business, applied engineering, health sciences, emergency management, and other fields. By strengthening our programs in STEM education, we have been recognized nationally in disciplines such as climate science, meteorology, emergency management, robotics, remote sensing, and other cutting-edge fields. Our graduates are doing extraordinary work in their fields. Our undergraduate meteorology program offers a contemporary comprehensive curriculum infused with technology and taught by inspiring and passionate faculty. We prepare students for a broad range of career opportunities through our commitment to their growth as scientists and advocates, with knowledge and skills that are and will be in demand in the evolving workspace. We are ranked among the top 5 programs nationally, and we host one of the most active student chapters of the American Meteorological Association. Our students learn about atmospheric and climate science by doing. They participate in the campus weather service, a student forecasting activity, Weather Watch, a streaming weather summary video, Spaced Out, a streaming monthly overview of solar activity, and the Weather Outreach Program, where students visit elementary schools and present weather and climate information. We received an email this past week from a recent graduate who is a member of the meteorological forecasting team at SpaceX. Remember this past week, where they tried to launch one of their spacecrafts. These are his words, quote, Growing up in the Lancaster area, Millersville's meteorology program had been on my radar for many years, mostly through the campus weather service program, which many people in the surrounding communities use and rely on for detailed and actionable weather forecasts. In high school, when I decided I wanted to pursue meteorology as a career, Millersville was at the very top of my list. End quote. And this gentleman from Lancaster, is now part of that team. Who knows where he's going to end up? And it all started locally with the work that Millersville is doing in meteorology. When OnlineMasters.com released its list of the top 30 online master's degree programs in emergency management this year, Millersville University was once again on the list. Since its creation, the program has consistently been ranked as one of the best in the country. This year, we were ranked number 8 in the country and number 2 in Pennsylvania. One of our newest academic programs at the graduate level is the Master of Science in Integrated Scientific Applications, with a specialization in climate science applications. This program is designed for individuals who want to tackle some of the most complex and pressing problems of our age. These students hone their skills in climate impacts, mitigation and adaptation strategies, and cost-benefit ratios and risks. They also gain experience to work at the nexus of the government and private sectors to find public policy solutions. The programs which I just mentioned are a small example of how our curriculum has grown over the past decade. So I want to now focus on the role of higher education institutions in climate solutions as well as in sustainable development. So what role can universities and colleges play in addressing the climate crisis in our region, in our country, and indeed at the global level? I would like to highlight 4 key areas where I believe universities and colleges can play key roles. First, as large and complex organizations, often anchor institutions in their regions, universities have the responsibility to minimize greenhouse gas emissions and maximize climate resilience by taking appropriate actions, modeling our progress, and partnering with like-minded organizations. Second, as institutions of higher learning, we must educate all our students, regardless of their major, on principles and practices of sustainability and encourage them to be stewards of their local environments. Third, we must accelerate our knowledge discovery by fostering innovation, creativity, and experimentation. We should encourage our faculty, staff, and students to ask questions, test solutions, and advance the state of theoretical and applied science. And fourth, we must continue to promote and lead community conversations and problem solving by convening the type of robust dialogue as we've done today. So now let me address each of these ideas in greater detail with some examples from Millersville University. With regards to institutional solutions, in goal number 4 of our strategic plan, we emphasize our commitment to sustainability. For example, we have overarching goal as an institution to be carbon neutral by 2040. Millersville has developed an energy management strategy driven by and encouraged by faculty, students, and staff to ask these questions. University greenhouse inventory, which shows that approximately, skip the page, I'm sorry. There we go. University greenhouse gas inventory, which shows that approximately 65% of our greenhouse emissions stem from energy use. It's an area that we are paying attention to. Recently, we completed a multi-year $11.5 million project to upgrade our electrical infrastructure that would prepare for us broader energy management and energy reduction. What did we do? Specifically, we converted an aged radial feed electrical delivery system to a loop feed system that connects about 40 buildings and installed utility-grade meters in each of our major buildings on campus. We've also developed an in-house energy management system which extracts, compiles, and presents energy use data for each of these buildings every 15 minutes. This approach has enabled us to monitor and track energy conservation measures. Within months of initiating this system, we used the data to establish new thermostat set points during unoccupied hours, which reduced annual energy use by approximately 5%. This led to savings of approximately $120,000 and a reduction in the greenhouse gas emissions by about 800 tons of carbon dioxide in a year. During this same period, we switched fuels in major campus buildings from electric to natural gas. The cleaner and more energy efficient boilers and other systems have reduced greenhouse emissions by about 2,700 tons of carbon dioxide and saved us about $500,000 on an annual basis. Smaller projects have been included, and this an example of that is the conversion of stadium and outdoor lighting to LED. But of all the projects on our campus, nothing exemplifies our commitment to climate action more than our Lombardo Welcome Center, which is the first building in Pennsylvania to be certified as a zero energy building by the International Living Future Institute. I see someone clapping. We should clap for that. And this is occurring in Lancaster. This 14,000 square foot zero energy building, an EPA Green Power Partnership partner, is a beautiful metal and glass facility. It serves as the university's front door and stands as a clear testament to our commitment to sustainability and to the goal of pursuing carbon neutrality by 2040. A total of 528 solar panels on the roof of the building generate electricity. 20 geothermal wells drilled 400 feet into the ground heat and cool the building. And several rain gardens treat storm water on site. An additional 20 solar panels are located on the ground array behind the building so that visitors and our own people on campus can view the technology up close. If you haven't had the chance to see this, I invite you to our campus to come and see this array. It is impressive. Okay. It's mobile, it's dynamic, and depending on the direction of the sun, you can actually see it moving. In addition to creating its own energy, the building's efficient lighting systems, zoned heating, cooling, and radiant floor heat improve comfort and make the building 60% more efficient than any building on our campus. It also serves as a center for educating pre-K through 12 students and visitors on sustainability and climate action. Whenever I get a visit from anyone in my office who comes globally, internationally, wherever they come from, that building is a place that I always direct them to go and see the building and see the real-time usage of energy and production of energy by that building. And I often say, in the euphemistic way, that This is the kind of building we want to put up at Millersville in the future, where the building actually will pay us back. And I'll explain that in a few minutes. To achieve zero energy certification, the Lombardo Welcome Center needed to generate all of its energy for an entire year. During our first year, we exceeded that goal by generating 75% more energy than we needed, making this facility one of the 5 most positive energy buildings in the United States, not only in Pennsylvania, in the United States. I'll come back to the story of how we use the energy surplus and rebates in a moment. We are beginning to implement measures to provide for more sustainable landscapes on our campus. Let me list a few. Several campus locations have rain gardens, and we use Pennsylvania native plant species only. Second, our campus is an official Monarch way station, and we maintain organic vegetable gardens. Third, our pond, anyone who's been to our campus knows about our pond, is a certified wildlife habitat. And finally, our biology department maintains a campus apiary and conducts studies at the biological reserve. Now, as a charter signatory to the Second Nature's climate commitment, we have our goal and we are working towards being carbon neutral. We have developed a climate action plan, and we are currently assisting the local community, the city as well as the county, with climate change response efforts. In short, we have a plan in place, we are taking concrete steps, we are making the necessary investments, and we are modeling our progress for others. Now let me talk about second item, education. So how are we educating our students on issues of sustainability and climate action? As I mentioned earlier, I gave you examples of our faculty members who are teaching classes tied to climate and sustainability. Climate change is one of the complex problems of our day, and institutions of higher education like ours must seize the opportunity to educate the next generation of leaders to understand the intertwined social, political, and economic aspect of this issue. Understanding the causes, characteristics, and consequences of society's greatest challenges cuts across disciplinary boundaries and can be taught across the entire curriculum. There is no excuse to say, I can't inculcate sustainability or environmental studies in my course. As an institution that provides core liberal arts education, our students learn to think critically, communicate effectively, and collaborate consistently. Ultimately, our goal is to create innovators and problem solvers. And driven by our vision to inspire learners to change the world, sustainable principles and practices are reflected throughout our curriculum and on our campus initiatives. They include recent efforts to restore stream health through an on-campus water quality research station, and also the apiary that I just talked about. But we have several efforts on campus addressing sustainability. Furthermore, taking the learning from the classroom to the community through hands-on and experiential learning can help students develop technical problem-solving and practical implementation skills, and foster the collaborative and equity-minded spirit needed to address climate solutions. We are accomplishing this goal by developing initiatives such as our Positive Energy Fund, and I'll go back to the Lombardo Welcome Center on this one. This Welcome Center has generated thousands of dollars for the university, and this have come in the form of utility rebates. I often say on the average, every month that Welcome Center writes a check of $5,000 to the university. We don't pay utilities. It's doing very well, one of the most comfortable buildings on campus, and it writes a check to the university. Imagine if on campus, 50 buildings, each building writes a check of $5,000 to us. Probably will be in the future provide free education for students. Anyway, the rebates are set aside to fund our positive energy grants. And these grants support student-faculty research projects that focus on sustainability projects in Lancaster County, in the local region. Projects funded through the Positive Energy Fund raise awareness of the interconnected economic, social, and environmental challenges confronting the world, as characterized by the global goals for the UN Sustainable Development. To accelerate local solutions to those challenges in Lancaster by Millersville University faculty, staff, and students. The more energy we make, the greater community impact we create, paid for by a building which continues to pay us back each month. So anyone who will tell you that sustainability is expensive, just tell them to come and look at the Welcome Center. We invested in it, but it is now giving us back the money. How many people put up a building and say the building is going to pay me back? But that's what we are doing, and it's because we paid attention on making it a sustainable building. Let me go to the third item that I mentioned, promoting research and advancing knowledge. Although Millersville University is not a research-intensive university, our faculty and staff are actively engaged in creative and scholarly projects that contribute new knowledge. 2 weeks ago, some of the outcomes were displayed on our campus at the Made in Millersville event. At this event, about 150 students presented the results of their research and creative work. In addition to the benefits that accrue to the students in terms of reaching their research and academic goals, the students also enhance their communication and presentation skills and hone their project management skills. I was so impressed by the wide array of climate-related and sustainable research poster sessions during the event. I'll share just one with you that to me was very telling. I went to one of the posters, and the two students said, this is something that we came up with. And I said, can you walk me through it? The only thing they needed was their cell phones. They were using iPhones, leaves. That was it. They downloaded an app that allows them to look at how a particular virus spreads on leaves. So they got the leaves, cleaned them up, and applied some virus to it, and they used their cell phones to measure the infection of the leaves, and they used the app that they downloaded for free. And they had solid data, because they did replicates. In addition to that, they had error bars on their graphs. I think that is the sort of thing. This is sustainable. It didn't cost them a lot of money to do this research, but they are adding knowledge. So let me share a few examples of other faculty initiatives in the area of climate science at Millersville. In our Education Foundations Department, faculty members collaborate with our biology faculty and local community groups to establish a stream quality study station on campus known as the Watershed Education and Training Institute. We call it WEDI. The WEDI enables our students to study water quality and stream health directly on campus in streams that feed the Conestoga River that ends up in the Chesapeake Bay. Water quality is a priority for the local region, which suffers from degraded stream health due to the agricultural practices. And the WEDI not only serves as an educational space for students, but also the surrounding community who regularly attend our outreach activities. Second, faculty members collaborate with local community groups to participate in National Science Foundation research projects to develop a place-based, problem-based, hands-on set of resources, models, and tools to introduce high school students to environmental and geospatial science centered on hydrological modeling. If you have college students working with high school students, ultimately it increases the chances of the high school students also going to college. This project has a web application called Model My Watershed. It consists of an interactive GIS and hydrological modeling tool that allows students to access and analyze complex national databases of environmental conditions in their local watersheds to make virtual modifications to the environment in order to reduce both storm water runoff and improve water quality. One of our faculty members in the chemistry department uses techniques to reduce chemical use during experimentation. This is what we often call green chemistry. He was recently recognized by the American Chemical Society Committee on Environmental Improvement for his incorporation of sustainability into the chemistry curriculum. His research analyzes techniques used during experimentation to identify opportunities for reducing chemical use. Students involved in the classes incorporate sustainable lab practices into their lab activities. So overall, our university works with the local community on climate change response planning and other environmental activities. And as a signatory to the Second Nature's Climate Commitment, we have worked with the city of Lancaster to help prepare the city's first greenhouse emission inventory and to begin to prepare a climate action plan. Also, our geography students taking a special course focused on climate resiliency developed resiliency assessments that can be incorporated into the university's climate action plan, as well as provide resources for the city of Lancaster. Since its inception, our faculty and staff have served on the executive committee of the Pennsylvania Environmental Resource Consortium continuously. Now, I want to also just mention one item that, initiative we have on our campus that is aimed towards helping the climate, that's sustainability. We try as an institution to partner with like-minded organizations. And to this end, just last month, we launched a new public-private partnership with Lancaster Laboratories, which is a partnership that will give our students opportunities to assist with real-life projects in the lab, some of them environmentally related, and also potentially lead to jobs. This is the first time we have such a facility on our campus, where a private company are using university space and working with our students. And we hope to see more of that happen. But this is last month. Over this summer, let me share with you what we are doing that relates to climate action. You'll very soon hear more about a new partnership which we are establishing with Climate Vision to provide advanced tools for weather data gathering and to advance our weather forecasting and understanding of climate on our campus and beyond. This new partnership will benefit our faculty, our students, Lancaster City, Lancaster County, and the whole region. So let me now talk about the last aspect, that's fostering community dialogue and problem solving. Let's talk about this facility, the West Center. The West Center, as we all know, is a unique place, and it plays a role in our regional landscape. As many of you know, last year was a celebration of the 10th anniversary of the West Center. Over the past decade, West Center has become an anchor venue in downtown Lancaster. Our goals for acquiring and growing the West Center were as follows. providing an exciting arts and culture venue for Millersville students and the community. Build strong relationships with the community and downtown organizations. Develop an academic space for growth of graduate and adult continuing education, and also to foster community and student engagement with a diverse audience in the city of Lancaster. Right from the onset, Millersville was part of the growing and vibrant arts and culture renaissance in downtown. The West Center quickly became a hub of activity with community groups using the facility often. Evening classes took off rapidly, and new classrooms were created to accommodate growth. I offer this short reflection on the West Center because it is a tangible example of how an institution of higher education can support the growth and the vibrancy in this region. Its short history offers a glimpse of what the future holds as our students and employees continue to make their mark on the community and the region. Let me just list a few. We will continue to ensure that our students and the community have access to this world-class facility for artistic and creative exploration, workforce development, and intellectual pursuits. We will continue to nurture the West Center as an important linchpin in the development of downtown Lancaster as a destination location. And we will continue to open our doors, our stage, and our meeting rooms to community groups so that we can help bring people together to address the region's critical issues. Together with the beautiful and historic Fulton Theater next door, the West Center has brought visitors and guests from across the region, the nation, and even globally. These facilities foster a vibrant arts and culture renaissance in the city and supporting of a strong local economy through a growing tourism and hospitality cluster. Last year, we hosted the Places 2040 conference and played a small part in advancing the region's planning efforts. So let me conclude here. In conclusion, I want to return to our core values. We are striving to meet our core value of public mission by serving as an anchor institution and community asset. We offer the hope for a brighter tomorrow for the next generation, inspiring our students to change the world by equipping them with the knowledge and skills to serve. Eventually, we want them to lead our region's business, governmental, and nonprofit sectors. As Lancaster's major public institution of higher education, we will continue to play a significant role in supporting workforce development, assist community problem solving and engagement, and foster diverse arts and cultural activities to make a positive economic impact. So let me thank you. I want to thank you for stepping up and leaning into the conversations about the important issues facing our region. There are no easy solutions and obvious roads to travel on issues as complex and multifaceted as sustainability, climate action, land use, transportation, poverty, and more. Yet, I am heartened by the warm welcome and the many caring and passionate community leaders and stakeholders willing to come together to share their expertise and ideas to develop solutions for the betterment of our community. I walk away today with a sense of optimism. Tackling the climate crisis and advancing climate solutions requires a strong commitment from each of us as individuals and a deliberate focus from each of us as leaders. As we work to bring careful planning and meaningful change to our organizations, thinking about traditional boundaries is of utmost importance, whether they are disciplinary boundaries, geographic boundaries, or the myriad of other organizational boundaries and silos. Such obstacles hold us back from optimal performance. and they fail to bring about inclusive and empowering solutions to the complex societal challenges that we face. I can say emphatically that Millersville University has been and will continue to be your public university, willing and able to be your climate action partner in Lancaster County and beyond. Thank you very much.